Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the video. We are a bus and a pier, which is pier short for Pyrenees. My name is Tom. I'll introduce myself. You can call me Tom. My mom used to call me George for some reason when I was younger, but I don't know why, and I never found out. But I did wreck my mom's car when I was 14 or 15 years old. My dad called me everything but my own name. So, um, we just need more dads in our lives. But we're going to give you a tour of the bus today, inside and outside, kind of a quick tour, maybe quick, maybe a little longer. I got some projects going behind the camera. I'm doing some staining for some shelving and some things on the inside. So let's give you a tour around the bus. This is the Pyrenees. This is Zen, Z-E-N. He's a Great Pyrenees livestock guard dog. And he weighs a little over 100 pounds. So he's a large dog, but on the bus, he's still large, but not too bad. So we'll give you a tour of the bus. This bus is a 2006 International, go to the front of it here, International was a 71 passenger school bus when they took it out of service. I bought it right off of the school bus lot through an auction. And the interesting story is when I went to pick it up is the school that I picked it up from was a very, very small school. This was bus number one. I think they had three buses. Bus number one was for sale. Bus number two had a bad engine. And I think bus number three was the one that was out on a route. It's the only other three buses that were on the lot. So it's a very small school in Oklahoma near the Kansas border. When I went to go pick it up through the auction company, I drove out there, and the superintendent, principal, vice principal, teacher, mechanic, the one guy did it all kind of thing, came up there, and I asked him, I said, when was the last time the bus was on the road? He said, oh, about 2 years ago. He said, we only got it started for the video on the auction. That kind of makes you feel good. And then he said, then he goes, well, how far are you going with it? I said, I'm going about 100 miles. He said, well, hopefully it shouldn't make it. So that's another good, encouraging note. But yeah, it did. It made it 100 miles, and it's gone about 8,000 miles since. So with not too much of a problem. It's a very minor thing. So has new tires put on the front and things. So new actual seals put in the back, just maintenance. So I'll give you a tour of the bus. People who know internationals, the CE200 is a VT365 6.0 version of the International Power Stroke. Not the best engine, I understand. A little underpowered, I think. Had some problem with head gaskets, etc. But the other versions were the CE300, which was the, I believe, the 7.3, and I think they also had the DT466 in this model. But this is the probably the not so desirable engine in a bus, but it's served me well so far, and I've seen others that have gotten many miles out of them, so we don't know. But there's our signage, a bus and a pier, and our sticker, and some stickers. We have a Jimmy and Natalie and a Bring Fido, which is the app I use because it's the Bring Fido app is an app that you can look and find out where you can take your dogs. Because this little pup back there has to go everywhere with me because he has separation anxiety, so he barks and drools and etc. So if a lot of places if he can't go, I don't go. Walmart's a different story, grocery store is a different story, but national parks kind of avoid a lot of them because we can't get in without just driving through and walking on the parking lot, so it's not much fun. Anyway, back to the bus tour. We have a set of, on each side, some floodlights on this side. All the windows are still intact in the bus, and there's 12 windows on each side. There are 2 storage boxes on this side. Great for tools, I've got barbecue briquettes and a chainsaw and saws and air compressor, you name it, it's packed in there as you go through. There's a lot of stuff in there. Good to have the outside storage. That is the vent for the composting toilet, and so got to have one of those. There's the back of the bus. There's my vent for the diesel heater. I needed someplace to put my ladder. I have a 7-foot ladder and didn't want to just get rid of it or sell it, so I actually, it's maybe hard to see, but it is right under there. I've got it mounted, ratchet strap to the fuel tank bracket. So far it's riding good. It's a big tank, so we'll see what happens. In the back of the bus, we got our logo, got our name. All the lights on the bus still work. The yellows are now turn signals and the reds are now brake lights. So they don't alternate flash, which is not against law. So long as they don't alternate flashing, I think you're still good. That's a current wire for a backup camera if I ever get one. In the back of the bus here, we have our door, and we have this deadbolt on the door. So when the handle comes down, it locks through there. You can lock with a key on the inside, or you can lock it from a key on the outside. Very handy, very secure, and not too hard to put on. Here's the back of the bus, the bed and the curtains, and here is the back of the, I see call them garage. Behind here I have my diesel heater fuel tank mounted on the door, some storage and different things. Under there is my water tank, the 75-gallon water tank. I fill it from out here. I have a adapter I put on and hooked a hose to it. Just kept from cutting another hole in the bus, and also keeps any little things from getting put in their water tank from the outside. So we had an issue with the fumes of the diesel inside, so I saw this on a YouTube or somewhere, ran a hose out and down, and it goes out and underneath the back door. So we have a vent tube that's outside the bus. And so under here, we have our gray water tank, a 33-gallon gray water tank under the bus there, and a drain. And up here is my vent for my instantaneous vented water heater and some more floodlights. And just a pretty standard bus. I mean, the color is called Home on the Range, and it's a Benjamin Moore polyurethane, water acrylic urethane that's used for shelving and things. So it's pretty durable. It's been on for about 1.5 years. It's not too bad. It's really looking good. Here's my shore power plug, which I've got it. Don't have it hooked up inside, but if I need it, it won't take long to hook it up. Here's another set of storage boxes. A lot of camping gear under there, stoves and diesel can and water tanks and etc. Right now I've got my outdoor solar array, which is there, which is a Renogy 200-watt solar array system. I do have, hard to see, but I got 400 watts of solar on the roof also, but I wasn't getting enough power in the desert due to the time of year and the sun, so I got an additional solar array to help boost the power, and it's been working wonderful. It's got its own solar control charger onto the unit, so that's really nice. And just plug it in, and so there we go. It's just a basic bus. Batteries underneath there, bus batteries, starting batteries, and the fuse panel is in that panel. So we'll go look on the inside. I left the mirrors on. I kind of like the mirrors. They give it, I like the bus look. I just love that feel. Maybe from growing up over the years, you know, your memories of riding the bus when you were a kid, etc. But also, they work really good because you can see in the front of the bus, or I can. Look at this one here. I can see the bus, I can see out the side, and I can also see where my dog is laying if he's out here from inside like look in the mirror and I can see his body laying in the front of the bus, just to know he's still around. I know he won't go anywhere, but still. So as here, he's pretty excited. So let's go look on the inside of the bus. The doors here, I actually put another deadbolt this way and that way, and I actually lock it. Get to the other side. Same way as the back door. Got a key. And I actually took this to the original. These are the original bus doors. And this section right here, this 1.5 inch section, was off another bus door that I purchased and cut it off. So it mimics the original bus door. And then it fits perfectly. And I was able to utilize and trim down the rubber strip that came with the original bus door and where it would fit. So when it closes, let me get this door closed and we'll show you. So when it closes, it looks kind of like a bus door. You can deadbolt it there. It's also got the key latch right there. So when you do close it, it's solenoid inside will pop the door back open when you turn the key. And so it fits right in. Pretty quiet, not much air leakage or water or noise to it. And it keeps that old bus look. Some of the things I've added on, got an umbrella holder stuck right inside the door. Just a black, slide it in and stands there. Water can drain on the bottom if it's wet. So we'll go inside and look around. Everything inside is pretty much, in the front part is still the actual bus that came with it. The fans, which I use all the time because they work still and they're pretty quiet. The dashboard over here, we've added a couple switches. Got the DC charger and a fan, and then the lights from my outside front driving lights that were used to be the red flashers are now clear driving lights. And up here is my still kept original first aid kit, body fluid cleanup kit. First aid kit is full of band-aids, etc. Body fluid cleanup kit is basically diesel fuel gloves. So if you're filling up with diesel, you know you want to keep stuff off your hands because diesel smell on everything. So there's the original federal inspection bus sticker with the date and everything still on there. And the bus information, I kept everything the same. And I do have air conditioning on the bus when I'm driving. This came with the bus. There's 3 units, one in the front, one in the back, and I've got one in the dash. And so this is really nice when you're driving down the highway and it's hot, you flip on the air conditioning. So work our way down this way. Some reflectix I use for over the windows. The windows are tinted, and I tint those. Get back into a little shelf. It's got some pins. It's got my tire gauge, etc. up there, easy to get to. I use this blanket right here. This is it's an 8 by 8 foot blanket that I bought, and I hang it from the ceiling at this time. I run across, and I've got little magnets that I hook it to. Works really good. Keeps a lot of the light out and keeps a lot of the heat in on this back part of the bus because a lot of glass up here indoors, and I haven't actually been anywhere where it's been too cold that you need a lot of heat. So well, let's look down the countertop. Here's my cabin, my kitchen. This is exactly how I live. There's nothing cleaned up much about it. So you've heard of Instagram and reality. Compared to Instagram view and reality view, this is the Instagram reality view. So this is actually how the bus is used every day while I'm in here. So nothing too crazy. I mean, it's nothing, but it's nice, comfortable. We got this is a 12-foot black cherry butcher block that I had made by some veterans group up in the Arkansas where I came from in my hometown that were supported by veterans. So I helped support the veterans, and they purchased this and they built me a black cherry, and I stained it and put about 5 coats of polyurethane on it. And I built the cabinets. These are basically just kind of the boards in the front are just project boards. So nothing crazy about them. They're just kind of thin. They've got marine boat latches on them, and they just snap, and they're easy to put on, easy to work, and they work for me. Easy to paint. We'll work our way down the top here. This is my dog's first birthday cup. I had an artist back at home that did this for me on his first birthday. She's a great artist. Her name is Jen, and she does a lot of these cups and the coffee cups, and they are just really, really nice. So that's his first birthday cup. So thank you, Jen, for that. And underneath here we have our door. We have just miscellaneous. We got a teacup and saucer from Egypt, hand painted in Egypt, and the battery monitor, and got the inverter, and this is the switch for the outside floodlights. And so we'll go down the shelf. We've got just a variety of little things. There's some beer mugs and some just relics and things. We have my book collection, which is not too great, but it's usable. Some hats. Oh, got some cookies. Got to have those. And we got a painting by Zan McPherson, which is on the bus as Brooke the Bus on Instagram. Very good artist. This is a typical scene of the Colorado foothills. She's a great artist. Got some work for sale, so go check her out. Brooke the Bus. And so we'll go through here. All right, what we have underneath here is my power system. Batteries is kind of a mess. Like I said, this is how I live it. I did put lights under all my cabinets because I just like having the cabinets lit and not being so dark. So under here we get around to it, 2 of the Life Pro Plus 200 amp batteries, 3000 watt Renogy inverter, 60 amp DC charger from Renogy. And I am not sponsored by Renogy in any way, but this is where I purchase my materials from. There is a solar charge controller for the 400 watts on the roof, and my disconnect for solar. And there's my 12 volt. And I did go with the Victron Lynx distributor. I just liked them. They looked real easy to work with and just have a good look and good connections to them. And a 120 just regular household shut-off breaker switch, and a breaker on the back for my battery disconnect. I do have my shore power box down here underneath this extension cord if I hook it up, and but that's if I need it. Right now I don't need it, so I hadn't been a priority to hook it up. So, but like I said, all the cabinets are lit, so it makes it really handy. And down there I've got a drawer, more cabinets, and cabinets under the sink. So this is really, I just like having the lights underneath them, because when you're out here, it's dark back there. And I did leave, if you noticed, I did leave on the back of the kitchen cabinets lower. So I do have actually window access on all that, all the way across the kitchen counter. Just because I don't, let some light in. But also underneath this is open on the bottom under here a little bit, so we have airflow to keep the inverters and things cooler. So we'll go through. We got puck lights. We did keep the original metal ceiling. Didn't want to take it down, and so we did a kind of a cheaper bus build because I wasn't too sure about the engine wise. Everybody was, bad comments on the engine. Didn't want to put a lot of money in the bus if the engine was going to go out in a few miles. So it's still going. So we're just seeing. But I don't, like I said, I don't go into cold weather. So this is working just fine. I left my front hatch, and the back hatch is still in. So we have as we look through here, this is, like I said, my dishes are in the sink. I actually got laundry in the sink. This is about a 9-inch deep double sink with a sprayer, and then so I'm using the version of laundry system that John Steinbeck used in his book Travels with Charlie, which is this book. A friend of mine gave me a bunch of books to read as I got on the road, so thank you, Chandler. John Steinbeck, Travel with Charlie, dated around 1959, 1960. But in the book, he does his laundry in his truck camper in a bucket. Puts water and soap in it, puts the lid on it, hangs it up, drives around the country, shaking up the bucket, doing his laundry. So I've done a few loads like this. Worked pretty good. Not the best for actually clean and getting them good and rinsed out, but it works. And it saves you from having to go into a laundromat. And in this town, the laundromats are full all the time. So, and just a couple other things. We got another book we've got that a friend of mine gave me was this one right here called Walden. This was interesting because this book, which is a 1950 version, was given to me by my friend there, and he told me later on where he found this book. He actually found this book in a building next door to mine that was in very bad shape. The roof was caving in, everything was moldy, wet, damaged, full of pigeon poop, etc. And he borrowed the book and to save it and gave it new life. So, and he gave it to me, and I read the book, really enjoyed reading Thoreau. I have not read any Thoreau, so it fit right in for the kind of like my ideology. And going back to nature, going back to the woods, be by yourself. And so it's just really good. And when he gave me the book, after the end, he told me, he said, I actually found that book in the empty building and stole it. and then gave it to me because he knew I would enjoy reading it. So I said, well, that's great. It has a special meaning for me because this book, being revived from the demise of a building and water, etc., given to me, and now I've taken this old school bus that was basically in the same situation, that was in retirement, ready to be either go to the scrapyard or something, and brought it back to life. So, and I like one of the last quotes on this book. It'd be hard to read, but there it is. It says, "The light which puts out our eyes is darkness to us. Only that day dawns to which we are awake. There is more day to dawn. The sun is but a morning star." I just like that because, I mean, there is more day to dawn. There's more things to do. There's more life to go, more stars to rise, and the sun is just like a continuation of the night. So the night is a continuation of the day. Another book I read was this one here, Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. I am not a big book reader. It took me about a year to read this one. But once I got started, I read these other books in probably about a month. I read about 8 books, so I got started with it. So kind of got me an idea. If I ever write a book myself, I'm going to take a combination of these things, and maybe I'll call it Travels with Zen in the Art of Bus Maintenance, Bouncing Across America. It's just something I thought of. But I mean, and that's what we've done is if you've been across America, you do bounce a lot on the roads because they're not really that great in a lot of places. So we'll go on with the tour. We have a full-size propane stove, a 4-burner, and a full oven. Got this on Facebook Marketplace for $35. I just couldn't pass it up. So already set up on propane. Works great. I carry a coffee maker. Bought that in Pagosa Springs at the thrift store. Got an old toaster oven that I brought. Cutting board from the restaurant I used to have, and then more storage under here. More drawers. Get this open. All the things you need, and then quick connect latches. Up there is some bowls and storage and a magnetic paper towel holder. One thing about having the metal roofs, magnets stick to it. So I got an apartment size refrigerator. It works good for me. A little bit small whenever I go stock up on groceries, but it works really well. So it's 110 volt, so plugged in through my inverter. There's a walking sticks, and I found this humidity meter in an old radio station that was being torn down at the local university back home, and up in the active rafters towards the attic. So I just took it down instead of having it destroyed. And it's made in West Germany, so it's an older one. That works pretty good. Not real accurate because that says like 58%, and then my digital one says 26%. So don't know, but I'm in the desert, so I'll go with the 26%. So anyway, here's some storage underneath here. This is where a little storage pocket I keep some dog food and some artwork that I did. This is a picture of the painting I did from an Airbnb in Washington State looking towards the mountains. And then here's another one. I'm trying to do like a Bob Ross style. I'm not very great, but it's getting there. There's one there. Got another one over here, the water area. And this one here is anybody's from the Arkansas area, Hawksbill Crag, which is one of the most photographed areas of Arkansas. That's just kind of my version of the crag. Oh, under here, we'll go back towards the back, got some storage underneath the shower, which is on top of the wheel well. So good for books and things and some papers and stuff. Here's my shower. This is just a basic. I bought the shower system minus the shower head for $1 off an auction because it was returned with no shower head. So bought that, and when I was working at Lowe's, I was able to get a shower head, so I got a pretty good system. And the shower is here. It's all lights, and the system on top is the concrete board that you use like outside siding. So I figured if it was good enough for outside, it would be good enough for inside. And so it's got a liner on the underneath it, and I got way too many screws in it, but it's not coming down. And a shower curtain. I do have window access still if you need to open the windows and let everything air out. And then the shower walls themselves, I did the tile myself. I'm not the greatest tile work, but it does work. Looks pretty good. And then just to purchase a shower stall. I wasn't really fond of the black when I started because I was going to go with something else. But the black this bus has kind of a history. Everyone's build has their own history in it, their own thoughts, their own feelings. This black panel is actually a signboard that was on my restaurant when I sold the restaurant. They took the signs down, and the guy said, "Do you want these?" I said, "No, I don't really need them." He said, "Well, they make great coverings for like doghouse and stuff because they're waterproof. They're aluminum coated plastic." And so I had just enough to do 2, 3, all these 4 walls with the signage off my old building. It works really well. Easy to clean, doesn't rot. And then, so it worked fine. So the black does work. I took the extra piece of chrome that was with the faucet, and now it is the shower curtain rod. So above here is my Max fan, which works, and I left in the hatch, so the hatch will open up, and if I need to. And back here is the bedroom area. We'll look around here. Underneath here first I call this the Zen Den. This is where the dog sleeps. It's his bed under there. And this is just the basic barrier. This one needs more work. I'm just kind of got things thrown in here and not really put around yet. I do have a water heater vented to the outside. It's a 16-liter, I believe, instantaneous propane water heater. Works really good. It does have its issues, but it does work good. Got my TV hanging from my shelf, which I built myself, just a piece of plywood and a board, and slide it over there. So I take it down when I'm driving because it will come down. Got some speakers, another rear air conditioning. I've got my 12-volt fan, which works wonderful because you can adjust it in any kind of positions. I got my variety of hats, etc. And then some pillows. And back on the back is a little nightstand that opens up into usable space. And I've got some reading lights that just touch lights. One there, and there's one over there. And then I've got some switches that control. This is the switches. I actually used the old bus lights that were in here and put LED lights in them. So repurpose those. And I've got a power cord here that pops up. So I've got one of those office version power systems that you can plug in. And then I've got just all windows all around. This is the back of the bathroom, and I'm going to show you this mirror. This mirror, I put it on its hinge, so it's got a hinge. It's got a little history on it too. If you look really close, it says Ardmore Ballroom, Cedar Rapids, Iowa, 1977. And then it's got up on there something else, I'm not for sure. Some ballroom, Marion, I'm thinking of Iowa, somewhere. Anyway, this was purchased at the local Goodwill store in my hometown by a friend. And when they moved off, they left it behind. They didn't really want to take it with them, along with a bunch of other things. It's super heavy. It weighs probably about 15 pounds. It's just massive amount. And this is the old hangers. But the Ardmore Ballroom, you do some research online, is a ballroom that was used to entertain traveling entertainers. Louis Armstrong, Benny Goodman, traveling Lawrence Welk, etc., went through this area as in their heyday from the 40s through 1976 when it closed. And who knows? I mean, this is a little piece of history, because in 1976 they closed the business. In 1977 they started selling off the material inside. So it does match up with what the internet says. And so this, I mean, who knows? Just think about it. This mirror. I mean, it could have been probably hanging in the bathroom, I would say, or somewhere. Who knows? May have Lawrence Welk may have looked into it. Patsy Cline may have been dazing into it. I don't know. It's just a lot of history in it to me. And it also has, in the history of the ballroom, one of Iowa's unsolved mysteries, murder mysteries. There was a girl, I think her name was Marlene, back in 1959, that was last seen in the Ardmore Ballroom, and her body was found a few days later out on the dirt road. So, and it's been unsolved ever since. So, I mean, history. So anyway, we'll go on through, and underneath here I've got some storage shelves just piled under there. I do have a light on that too, just kind of give me some light in there. And in the toilet, we have just a regular composting toilet, just built in. The green is the same color as the outside of the bus. It's actually the same paint. This is the back of the mirror, which I left open, so you can actually open that up. And if you wanted to open up the back window, you can have a view all the way through the bus while you're in here doing your business. But it's where it's composting toilet. Back and behind here is some peat moss, and I've got a big window. The emergency window in the bus opens up, because believe me, I've seen all the videos and talk about people like, oh, it never smells. Well, let me tell you, it does have a little odor to it, because you remember what you just did in that toilet. You're going to have a smell. It does have a fan on here that runs, but still, it's what you left behind that's, it's in there, and you will have a little smell. So prop the window open, let the air go through. Bookcase shelf, I slide it over because the toilet is actually up a little high. It's on top of the wheel well. It's a 5-gallon bucket, and that is usually the footstool, so it kind of balances out while you're doing your business. So that's the toilet. On back here, I've got a little shelf there behind, and the top in here is just a shiplap board, and these lights are dimmable, just RV lights, 12 volt. And so go through here, and as I said, this is all just a work in progress still. This side is what I'm working on now. This is my shelving I'm putting in. This is where the next shelving is going to be at, and I'll do a video afterwards when everything is done. I do have some boards on top with puck lights in them. I got metal, once again, metal roofs, metal towel hangers, magnetic, just a bunch of stuff in here. I don't have any place to sit right now except for that chair, and so we're going to make a couch over there. This is some clothes storage. It's my free giveaway. I'm going to give away at Skoolie Palooza. Toolbox, some paints, paperwork for tax records, etc. This box is an extra bus radiator, and just in case I need one. It's always good to have an extra radiator, I guess, if you're driving around the country. Oh, the diesel heater I have is under the bed. There's a vent for it. I don't have any ductwork on the system. I should have, because it gets warm in the back. But let me show you what I did for just kind of a temporary thing to get ductwork. So let me hold on and get right back. And this is what I got, temporary solution. It's got some PVC pipe, not really made for a lot of heat, but I hook it up to the vent, took off the cap, hooked it up there, and it pushes hot air to the front of the bus. So it gives me a little bit of extra heat this way. I do have some holes drilled in the elbow down there, so you have a little heat back there, but I got most of the air will come out to the front. So been working pretty good. Pushes a lot of air through. That's good. I got the vinyl flooring, the waterproof, just the click and snap kind of version. Go through, like I said, got curtains all around. We'll have more curtains back there whenever the shelving goes up. And this is my latest project I just finished, is my over-the-door book rack. I just needed something to cover up that area with the arms the door come in, and I reutilized the original headbanger bar that came with the bus. I took it off and I built this book rack. Bus Life Kitchen is the people I follow. It's got great recipes. You need to follow them, everybody. AJ is on there, and he's got some really good food, and I've used several recipes. I got my atlas, and I got my book from Germany, and that is some paintings I've got to turn around backwards, and different things. Light switches. Here's a light switch for the interior lights. So got plenty of lights there. I got lights built over the cabinet. So on this side, I'm working on lights up on this side. These are on a dimmer, so I have lights, plenty of lights, and they reflect off the metal, so it's pretty bright in here when you need to. So I think about to finish all this, but there's my wood that I'm going to use for my couch. I'll be able to store a lot of that stuff underneath the couch, I hope, and we'll go from there. So we'll check around. So thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this quick tour of the bus. It's not a finished project, but it's kind of like a house that I don't think you really finish anything, but you just kind of redo it. I've already got plans on remodeling some of the shower area, make it a little smaller, it's a little large, but that's a future Tom Air thing to worry about. So, but this is it. Living it's 210 square feet, basically. 39 feet on the inside. I'm sorry, 29 feet from the driver's seat back, 39 feet total. So it's doable. It'll be a little smaller when the couch gets built. When the dog's in here, there's less space because he covers the whole area, like between the shower and the tub. The shower and the bathroom, he covers the entire floor. He covers all the space when he wants to lay here because he likes it cool, because he's a snow dog. But we're in the desert, so he's with me. So, but one thing about him is, as we drive, let me turn around here. We've gone about 8,000 miles, like I said, in the bus. And the dog, I'll have a video about that stuff later on him. Different dogs, different kind. But he sits right here. I sit right there. 8,000 miles. He sits, and he hasn't moved while I'm driving. He will sit there the entire time I'm driving. Look out the windshield. You can look over the dash. He's big enough to. But he'll sit there and not move until I stop the bus, turn off the key. So I guess it's loyalty. Maybe he's protecting me. Maybe he wants to see what's going on. He doesn't want to go lay down. He doesn't want anything else. He wants to sit and watch. So that's kind of nice. So thanks for watching, everybody. We are going to go out and work on some more projects. Enjoy this nice Arizona day. We're going to be close to 70 pretty soon. sunshine. And the only disadvantage of being out here is there's a lot of dust. So if you're into clean, you can clean every day or just deal with it because it's a desert. So thank you. Enjoy and like and subscribe and comment if you will. Thank you. Bye.